Hello everybody, it's me, Shad Polynerdic, back with another tabletop RPG video, picking up where we left off on Friday night. Friday night the 14th, we did a video where I used this book, A Life Well Lived, from Cubicle 7, and I built a character framework from the ground up. At the end of it, we had their lineage, what their childhood was like, what their adolescence were like, so a pivotal life event, who their family was, basically everything that you choose when you're building a character via this traditional D&D and D&D 5e style setup. But we did it through a series of dice rolls and prompts and stuff. And so we built that character. I have the notes that we made for him right here in front of me. Just real quick, I'll go over them with you. He's an elf. His astrological sign is the Sphinx, which is kind of like a Pisces. Measured and naive, which gives +1 charisma. He was raised by elves. He was raised in poverty. His parents were aloof, specifically the father, who was an adventurer. Cherishes his mother, could not bear to think of life without them. They had a nomadic lifestyle. I have kind of headcanoned this to be that they... there was kind of like almost like the Romani, but elves. They're wood elves traveling the countryside, just living their lives, doing their best thing, but just kind of never staying in place for very long. Somewhere along the line, started kind of on a storyteller vibe. I thought for a moment we were gonna lead towards being a bard on this, but then that very entry gave me a +1 to intelligence, not to charisma. And then in our adolescent event, we blamed someone for something that we did. That person suffered great consequences, and that gave us proficiency in deception. Our life lesson moment was that we were tasked with protecting an important item for the community, and we of course did the Tom Sawyer thing of convincing our friends to help. So that gave us a bump in the Riz, as the kids say. Our pivotal moment came when there was a visiting circus. We became a member, and through that we learned scimitar proficiency, learned to juggle, and also picked up the actor occupation, which of course gives us the disguise kit proficiency and proficiency in persuasion. Our personal quirk was that we learned how to hide things. Fits in well with like a sleight of handy kind of thing. We can hide a tiny object on our person that cannot be detected without non-magical means, or without magical means, excuse me. Picked Warlock as our class because I had an idea. We're going to incorporate another third-party supplement for that, and that of course also comes with a charisma bump. And our call to adventure was wrong place at the wrong time. Have not decided what that is yet. I have a feeling it's gonna have something to do with their mother, possibly some shenaniganry that harmed their mother or something. Not to fridge mom, but like something to that effect, something that disappoints mom or harms mom directly. I'm leaning towards disappointing mom because that's a good one. A character who can't bear to think of their life without their mother, pissing their mother off and shaming themselves is a pretty good, solid character hook. The lies we tell ourselves are, my fear will destroy me if I let it in. Have not figured out how to do that. Maybe something to do with the shaming in mom's eyes. And my skeleton in the closet is I tell others the nice version of events from the adolescence event, the one where we blame somebody, but the skills, deception, were learned in a more questionable manner. So I'm going to figure there's some sort of lie as to what the actual event was to make that work. Short-term goals, I want to forge a credible ally for the source of my powers. I'm thinking pretending to be a sorcerer. should their origin or nature come into question. And long term, my pact was made in a moment of desperation, and I want to get out of the obligation and escape the clutches of my patron. That led me to the other third party supplement, the Tome of Heroes from Kobold Press. They have a couple Warlock patrons that I'm really, really, really leaning on. One of them is the Hunter in Darkness. It's an entity that sees all creatures as prey and enjoys instilling fear in its prey. It prefers intelligent prey over mere beasts, as their fear tastes so much sweeter. Hunters who display impressive prowess for hunting pique its interest. The Hunter in Darkness often bestows its power on such individuals to spread fear further than the hunter can by itself. Though your patron isn't mindless, it cares only for the thrill of the hunt and spreading of fear. It cares not what you do with that power. Your connection with the hunter can sometimes cause changes in your worldview. You might view every creature you meet as predator or prey, or you might face problems with a kill or be killed attitude. I'm kind of leaning into that one, but I also really like the Old Wood. You have made a pact with an ancient intelligence of a primeval forest. Before the rise of human civilization, before the times of elves, before even the dragons, there were the forests. Empires fall and rise around them, or rise and fall around them, but the forests remain as a testament to nature's endurance. However, times are changing, and the unchecked growth of civilization threatens the green. The intelligences that imbue the antediluvian forests seek emissaries in the world that can act beyond their boughs, and one has heard your call for power. You are a guardian of the Old Wood, a questing branch issuing from a vast, slumbering intelligence sent to act on its behalf, perhaps even to excise those lesser beings from its borders. I really like the flavor of that. I really like the idea of a nomadic elf who, by hook or crook, whatever happened in their life, became a patron of a... It's almost a genus loci, right? Like it's almost a spirit of the land kind of thing. And I really like that. I think we're going to go with that. We're going to go with Old Wood. He's an Old Wood Warlock, which gives us the expanded spell list, adds Animal Friendship, Fairy Fire, Animal Messenger, Spike Growth, Conjure Animals, Protection from Energy, Conjure Woodland Beings, Giant Insect, Greater Restoration, and Tree Stride as our, additional spells. We can sap magic. When a creature casts a spell of a level you can cast or lower within 30 feet, you can use your reaction to synthesize the magic. The spell resolves as normal, but you have a 25% chance of regaining hit points. That's pretty good. Forest Defender at first level, your patron gifts you with the skills necessary to defend it. You gain proficiency with shields, and you learn the Shillelagh cantrip. It counts as a Warlock cantrip, but doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know. The Pact boons for this. Pact of the Chain, when you conjure your familiar or change its form, you can choose the form of an awakened shrub or a child of the briar, which is from Tomb of Beasts. In addition to the usual choices, Pact of the Blade. The blade of the Old Wood is a weapon made out of wood and thorns that you grow out of your palm. I fucking like that. That's wicked. Pact of the Tome. Old Wood grows a tome for you. Tome's covered in hard... I think we're going to go Pact of the Blade, Old Wood Warlock. At 6th level, you get passed without a trace, without a spell slot. At 14th level, you essentially transform into the avatar of the wood. Arms, legs, torso elongate. Your body becomes covered in thick, dark bark. Branches sprout from your head. As your hair recedes, you transform as a bonus action, and the transformation lasts for 1 minute, 10 rounds of combat. Your armor class is 16 plus dex. You gain Tremor Sense. Your hands become branch-like claws. I like this for this guy. So that's it. We're gonna be Pact of the Blade Old Wood Warlock. Now, I have up on my screen over here. Make sure I got it up. We are going to create our character in Hero Forge. Again, not a sponsored video. I'm just talking about things I love. I really enjoy Hero Forge. I've used it to make custom minis for the campaign that is wrapping up and for the next campaign that I'm playing with my players, or that I'm running with my players. This is the standard male elf here. So let's get into character creation. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I went through a list of elven names, and I decided our boy here will be Travarin. I just like the way that sounds. It can be shortened to Trav. It's just a good elven name, in my opinion. I didn't give him a surname. Not sure that he wants to have one out and available. So let's start here with the head. Zoom in on our guy's face. I think... See, elves typically have delicate features, maybe? Yeah, I kind of like that for him. A little delicate face. That's pretty good. His ears, we're just going to leave the standard elf ears. I think they work. Hair could be interesting. I don't think he's going to be a short hair guy. I think he's going to have longer hair. Scrolling through the Hero Forge options. Hero Forge options for shoulder length and longer here. Like, I don't think he's this guy. I don't think that's our boy. Could be, but I don't think it is. Same here. Hero Forge could really help us out if they gave us options that didn't do this. Just my opinion. But I really don't like how high the mullet is. Look back medium length. I kind of like that for him. That works. It's not my favorite. I don't like the French twist. We can go with that. I can deal with that for him. I think that's sufficient. We're gonna stick with the cliche that elves can't grow facial hair, but we are gonna give him move this over. One eyebrow with a little in it. He's lived a rough life, you know. We could do a unibrow, but I don't want to do a unibrow. I want this. Eyes are fine. Teeth are fine. It's not gonna have horns, except for in his old wood. It's kind of like the form of dread that the Undying warlocks get. I think it's Undying. It's the Undying or the Undead, whichever Laudna is in season 3 of Critical Role. They have the form of dread. It's kind of like that, but like the form of greed. All right, we are going to do. I want him to be kind of tall. He's gonna be. He'll be 6'2". He'll be kind of a tall elf. Torso, legs are fine. He's not gonna have wings. He's not gonna have tail, anything like that. We can't adjust. Kind of want him to be. Yeah, he's kind of a tall, proud fella. A little large, but not huge. He's gonna have some muscle to him. All right. Clothing. We're gonna stay away from actual outfits here, and we're gonna start with the chest. If we had stuck with the circus stuff, that would have worked nicely. I think probably have to go to some of the earlier stuff for him. Studded leather. Studded leather works. You know, he is. Leafy shirt. Is he that nature imbued that he would wear a shirt made of leaves? I don't know. I think as a defender of the green, he might. He might. Let's stick with studded leather for now. And we'll do his legs next. We'll take this bit off. I think techno organic. I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna have. I mean, buckskin kind of works. Studded jeans. I don't think so. Those pants are ridiculous looking on him. Outlaws riding pants, mariachi pants, gunslinger chaps, tailored slacks, breeches, peasant pants, cropped breeches. Just run around in a banana hammock, right? You do that. Form-fitting cloth, cargo, distressed. Those were tracksuit pants, scrubs, ragged trousers, rope belt, cloth pants. Belted pants, kung fu, dutiful armor, furry leather hide pants. I kind of like those for him, except for the fact that they're a little tattered. Disciple of Death pants, organic pants. Again, we can go with the leaf setup. Leafy boy. Little knee-high boot-looking pants there. Let's go with, I think, I know this is super exciting, right? I should have had an idea before we went with it. We'll go with the adventurous trousers for now. And then for the feet, we'll slap on some stitched leather boots, maybe. No. Square-toed boots, fine with me. Gloves. Should he have gloves? You think this guy has gloves? Certainly not spacesuit gloves. I can see him wearing gloves like that. Little open finger, you know. Because that is one thing for the gear. We do know that he is a scimitar guy. I gotta learn how to spell scimitar, though. It's over on the other screen. If I weren't a goober, I could see it. Scimitar. If I spelled it right here, I'm pretty sure I did though. Beat up scimitar, amended scimitar, the bloodletter sword, Sultan scimitar. These aren't scimitars down here. Why are you showing them to me? I kind of like that one for him. I have a couple other characters that use that scimitar. So maybe a more traditional scimitar. That one just looks too evil for his means. Although his sword is made out of wood and thorn, so maybe that makes the most sense. And then we also we learned through our shenanigans that we're good with a shield. But we're not gonna give him a shield because I want his left hand to have some sort of nature magic going on. I guess this is really the only nature-y thing we have here, some flower bloom, but we'll hold that for now. Clothing, we did that. Back. Exquisite split cape. That looks like a scarf to me, frankly. But I guess it is technically a cape. Rugged fur cloak. I think this fits the woodsy vibe of him. Probably better than anything. I don't know that we have a shillelagh in the group. It's amazing that they haven't made one yet. Just nope. That's kind of a shillelagh, the club. Kind of. Yeah, we don't have one. I was gonna put one on his hip, but it's not important. Let's see. Check the pose. The flowers are silly. They really are. Especially in the like, would you like some flowers kind of pose. This is keep away from my flowers. Just some of the default poses are ridiculous. Also be warned if you've never used Hero Forge, this pose right here is incredibly easy to break. My youngest played a sprite fairy sorcerer in the our first campaign, and I had not done more than base coat the mini before it broke. There's a very flimsy plastic all on the toe, so don't Don't do that. Okay? Don't ever use that mini unless you're going to be incredibly careful. Actually, what I want to do with the magic, can we make it like a vine? Magic, where are you? Oh yeah, you're up here. No. You are... Well, you can't have magic on your side. That's the problem. You can't have magic hanging on your hip. It just doesn't work that way. So you can kind of make those into vines. Kind of. Might be as close to that as we get. Alright, we're going to use those as essentially a grasping vine kind of attack. But we have to change how we do it here. So go to pose. Oh, tilt it up. Tilt the wrist. Kind of the theory we're going for. I don't think it works too well though, because it doesn't work too well because the way the spell comes off at an angle. That's a problem. So we will change the spell to that because that works a little bit better and is a little more natural on the arm pose. We'll just make it green, like it's a plant. You know. I did want to also, while we're imposed, I want to switch the grip on this. Because I just like that. I just think that looks better. Alright, his face. We kind of want to make him a little cocky. You always love a good semi-cocky, smirking face. Not that you can really like truly see the face on the mini. It's mostly for the art. Stage. Grassy ground. I like a good grassy ground base. I don't know if there's anything I really want to put on his... I mean, we always could, but drop some tree branches, some vines, maple leaves, skeletal moraines, pine cones. That's a small touch. We'll do that. And then we do colors. I said I wanted him to be a wood elf, so I kind of want him to have somewhere between these two skin tones. So let's tweak that. Let's do the mix here. Kind of like that. I like that for his skin. Now for his hair, kind of wanted to do like an auburn. I don't know that we have a true auburn. No. Eggplant. Nothing about that says eggplant to me. Here, hold on. Then we'll tweak we'll tweak that before we move on. Walnut brunette, shiitake brunette. A little more red. That's a little more the color I envisioned. Yeah, like that. Not quite auburn, but like dark with like a reddish highlight. Let's see. For the cloak, which is better? I like the... Damn. I definitely like that one better. It is worth noting, you can come up here to theme and like get like a good starting point for what you want. Depending on how garish you want your fella to be, or lady, or non-binary person. We're gonna start with that though. Not quite what I want for the... I really like that coloration. And I feel like the inside would be a little more pale gray. On the inside. I know that's a reptile, but... Now this... I feel... I truly feel like this color here would be the same color as his pants. And then I feel like there would be no metal on this. I feel like because it's supposed to be something that sprouted from the palm of his hand, it's going to be very wood based. So I feel like that. No. Almost brown. Nope. Not quite dark enough. We're going to tweak these colors, I think. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to tweak the colors of the blade. Because I want them to be darker than this. That's what I thought. kind of wanted to just have like a wooden look all the way around. And I wish they had like a leaf cloak, because that would be great for someone that's a defender of the old wood to have like a leaf. Because we could, in theory, look like the dark evergreen. Actually, let's. We could make it look like leaves. And that suits them a little bit better. Same with these. We could totally make them look more like vines than like vines spinning out of his hands, as opposed to that. I do kind of, I think I do, for the sake of this, prefer the dark wolf cloak. But here, how it was spelled on the elf name list. I think that's as good as we're going to do in this quick little video. Because we're at, this almost went longer than the original creation. I'm going to play with it a little bit, but I think here's our tavern. Our warlock of the old wood, nomadic wood elf hero that we just created in the last two videos. Honestly, though, I think about an hour and 10 minutes is a good foundational bit of time to spend creating a character. I don't know about you. I assume if you're watching me do this, you probably like TTRPGs as much, if not more, than I do, and you probably get the joy that is to be found in character creation. And by God, did we do a bunch of it just now. I'm one guy. I wouldn't pay money necessarily for that many. I have other male elves that would fit the motif that I could paint up. In fact, I've got, I just got an Eladrin yesterday that would totally fit the Defender of the Forest motif. But I love character creation. Tell me about your characters in the comments below, if you don't mind. Always appreciate, the sharing of ideas and whatnot. We might revisit Old Tavern here at the Tavarin. I like Tavarin. Tavarin might be I like Tavarin as a better way to say it. It's probably the correct way to say it, and probably how I initially said it. Anyway, I had fun making them with you all. I hope you had fun watching, and I will see you in the next video. Like, follow, subscribe, Polynerdic, all the various social medias all over the internet. You can find me just about everywhere. But I don't have a Snapchat, so don't ask.